Shishi Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, no. Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta. Sorry, let me do full Jai Dani. Jai Shri Baldev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Shri Nartham Srinivas Ramananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Nama Chay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Ksheta Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Padatta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Jīva Gosvāmī Par ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Shri Vāmana Deva ki jai. Shri Vāmana Dvādaśī Titi ki jai. Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Mahadvadashi Titi ki jai. Shri Chaturmasya Vrat ki jai. Vrat Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitaya Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Karuna Didi, and the other 3 people watching on YouTube and Facebook. So, yeah, like every festival day these past few days, I don't have anything in particular planned, but we can just go to purebhakti.com and also Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani website, and also to, I don't know, if anybody has any suggestions of anything to read, please send it over and I'd be happy to read. But yeah, first we can sing a kirtan. Maybe we'll do one first for Jīva Gosvāmī, and then after we'll sing the Dash Avatar Stotram. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen 1 second. Okay. There. What's the song that we should sing for Jīva Gosvāmī? I think one nice one is, how does it start? Vishaya Vasana Rupa. Vishaya. Yeah, that's a good one. Vishaya Vasana Rupa. Oops. Okay. Yeah, this is a good one. Let's do this. I'll make it big. So, my desire for sense objects is a perversion. This is by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Kalyana Kalpataru. My desire for sense objects is a perversion of consciousness, which constantly impels my heart to want to enjoy. Oh, how much effort I have made, but my perversion has not gone. In the end, my life goes instead. This frightful perversion has perturbed me. Because my heart is restless, peace finds no place there. When will Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī bestow his mercy upon me and deliver me by investing me with yukta vairagya? When will Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, out of great compassion, make me forsake sense gratification and then offer me to Sri Nityananda Prabhu? When will Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī, with the waters of conclusive truth, the Siddhanta Salila, when will he extinguish the fire of false arguments which are burning in my heart? At that time, hearing the name of Sri Chaitanya will cause ecstatic horripilation on my body. By drinking the nectar of Shri Shri Radha Krishna, I shall become free from all grief. This sinful person is the most wretched among the wretched. This destitute soul begs for shelter at the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. So Sri Jīva Gosvāmī Kabe means when, Siddhanta Salile, Siddhanta, conclusive truths, Shalile, with the water of conclusive truths, Nibhaibe Tarkanala. He will extinguish. Nibhaibe, Tarka means logic, arguments, like that. Anal means fire. So he will extinguish the fire of arguments. Nibhaibe Tarkanala, Chitta Jahe Dvale. Jahe, which will Dvale, which was burning my heart. This Tarkanala, which was Dvale, which was burning my chitta, my heart. Nibhaibe, he will extinguish that. Okay, so now let's sing. Just checking it is running okay. Sorry. Hare Krishna, Ganga Mataji and Raj Bhuvan Yadav ji. Hare Krishna. Okay. Just getting my Hare Krishna. I'm not a Vishaya Vasana Rupa Chittaravika. Vishaya Vasana Rupa Chitte Vikara Amara Hridaye Bhoga Kore Anibar Vishaya Vasana Rupa Chitter Vikara Amara Hridaye Bhoga Kore Anibara Koto je jatana yami Korila mahai Nagelo vikara bujhi Sheshe prana jai কত যে যতন আমি করিলাম হায়, না গেল বিকার বুঝি শেষে প্রাণ যায়। Once again. এ ঘোর বিকার মোরে করিল অস্থির, শান্তি না পাইল স্থান অন্তর অধীর। এ ঘোর বিকার মোরে করিল অস্থির, শান্তি না পাইল স্থান অন্তর অধীর। শ্রীরূপ গোস্বামী মোরে কৃপা ভিতরিয়া, উদ্ধারিবে কবে যুক্ত বৈরাগ্য অর্পিয়া। শ্রীরূপ গোস্বামী মোরে কৃপা ভিতরিয়া, উদ্ধারিবে কবে যুক্ত বৈরাগ্য অর্পিয়া। কবে সনাতন মোরে ছাড়ায়ে বিষয়, নিত্যানন্দে সমর্পিবে হইয়া সদয়। কবে সনাতন মোরে ছাড়ায়ে বিষয়, নিত্যানন্দে সমর্পিবে হইয়া সদয়। শ্রী জীব গোস্বামী কবে সিদ্ধান্ত সলিলে, নিভাইবে তর্কানল চিত্ত যাহে জ্বলে। শ্রী জীব গোস্বামী কবে সিদ্ধান্ত সলিলে, নিভাইবে তর্কানল চিত্ত যাহে জ্বলে। শ্রী জীব গোস্বামী কবে সিদ্ধান্ত সলিলে, শ্রী জীব গোস্বামী কবে সিদ্ধান্ত সলিলে, নিভাইবে তর্কানল চিত্ত যাহে জ্বলে। নিভাইবে তর্কানল চিত্ত যাহে জ্বলে। শ্রী চৈতন্য নাম শুনে উদিবে পুলক, রাধা কৃষ্ণামৃত পানে হইব অশোক। শ্রী চৈতন্য নাম শুনে উদিবে পুলক, রাধা কৃষ্ণামৃত পানে হইব অশোক। কাঙ্গালের সুকাঙ্গাল দুর্জন এ জানা, বৈষ্ণব চরণাশ্রয় Jachaya Kinchana Gangaler Shukanga Durjana Ejana Vaishnava Charanashray Jachaya Kinchana Shri Jīva Gosvāmī Kabe Siddhanta Salile Shri Jīva Gosvāmī Kabe Siddhanta Salile Oni Bhaibe Tarkanal Chitta Jahe Jwale Nibhaibe Tarkanala Chitta Jahe Jwan Jaya Jīva Gosvāmī Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmī Jīva Gosvāmī Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmī Jaya Jīva Gosvāmī Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmī Jīva Gosvāmī Jai Jīva Gosvāmī Jai Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan. Now we'll sing Shri Dash Avatar Stotram. Hari Bo Raseshwari Mataji. Okay, I'm just opening it up. Dash Avatar Stotram. Oh, and Hari Bo Bhavatarani Mataji and Nri Hari Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dash Avatar. That's Dash. There it is. I'm not going to read the translation. I'll just read the translation for this one verse. So, you deceived Bali while taking immense strides, O wonderful dwarf. You purify people by the Ganga water that emanates from your toenails. O Keshav, who assumes the form of a dwarf, Vāmana. All glories to you, O Lord of the universe, O Hari. Pralaya payodhi jale dritavan asivedam vihitava hitra charitamakedam keshavadrita mina sharira jai jagadisha hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Akshitiriha Vipulatare Tishtati Tava Prishte Dharani Dharanakina Chakra Garishte Keshavadrita Kurma Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Vasati Dashana Shikare Dharani Tavalagna Shashini Kalanka Kalevani Magna Keshavadrita Shukara Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kamala Varena Kamar Bhuta Shringam Talita Hiranya Kashiputanu Bringam केशवधृता नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे चलयसि विक्रमणे बलमर्भुत वामन पदनखनीर जनित जन पावन चलयसि विक्रमणे बलमर्भुत वामन पदनखनीर जनित जन पावन केशवधृता वामन रूप केशवधृता वामन रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अक्षत्रिय रुधिरमये जगरपगत पापम् स्नपयसि पयसि शमित भवतापम् केशवधृता भृगुपतिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अवितरसि दिक्षुरने दिक्पति कमनीया दशमुखमौलि बलिं ब्राह्मणीयां केशवधृता राम शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अवाहसि वपुषि विशदे वसनं जलधावं हलहति भीतिमिलित यमुनाभं केशवधृता हलधर रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अनिन्दसि यज्ञविधेरहः श्रुतिजातं सदया हृदय दर्शित पशुघातं केशवधृत भूत शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे निवाह निधने कलयसि करवालम् धूमकेतु मेह किमपि करालम् केशवधृता कल्कि शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अशी जय देव कवेरिदमुदितम् उदारं शृणु शुभदं शुकदं भवसारं केशवधृता दशविधरूप केशवधृता दशविधरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता केशवधृता मीन शरीर केशवधृता कूर्म शरीर केशवधृता शुकर रूप केशवधृता नरहरि रूप केशवधृता वामन रूप केशवधृता वामन रूप केशवधृता भृगुपति रूप केशवधृता राम शरीर केशवधृता हलधर रूप केशवधृता बुध शरीर केशवधृता Kalki Sharira Keshavadrita Dashavidarupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Vāmana Dev Jaya Vāmana Dev Vāmana Dev Jaya Vāmana Dev Jaya Vāmana Dev Jaya Vāmana Dev Vāmana Dev Jaya Vāmana Dev Jaya Dasha Avatari Jaya Krishna Chandra Dasha Avatari Jaya Krishna Chandra Jaya Dasha Avatari Jaya Krishna Chandra Dasha Avatari Jaya Krishna Chandra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Shri Jīva Gosvāmī Pada Ki Jai Shri Vāmana Deva Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hari Bol Kishore Prabhu and Karnika Didi. And who else is there? Raj Bhuvan Yadav Ji, Yasendra Seshwari Mataji, Ganga Mataji, Karuna Didi, and I see many other people watching on YouTube, Facebook, 7 people. Well, there was just 9 people, 2 people just left. So now we are going to, actually, I just, on purebhakti.com, when I was working on the Archantipika, there's a section, I saw the Bengali Archantipika. They have a special Archan section for Varahadev, for Vamandev, for Nrsingadev, for like those different days of the year. And so then I wanted to add that to the Archantipika, but we decided just to add it online on purebhakti.com. So I'm going to try to find that right now. One second. I'm just sharing my screen again. Where is it? purebhakti.com. I think it's under Resources Archan. Yeah, so if anybody also wants to learn how to do Archan, we made videos for how to do Archan. And also how to make an offering and like exactly how they do it in the mat. All the different parts. And also how to worship Gaur Nitai, and also how to worship Sri Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra Devi. And now we have Archan of other forms of Bhagavan. So there's Archan of Nityananda, Archan of Sri Advaita Acharya, Archan of Ramachandra, Archan of Nrsingadev, Archan of Baladev, Archan of Sri Vamandev. Here we are. Let me see how big we can make this. That's good. Oops, I went too far. Here we are. Okay, let's see. What's the meter for this? Patu Veshotaram Bande. No. Patu Veshotaram Bande. Okay. Om Shivatsa Kostu Bharoksham Bhoraskam. Sorry. Purnanandu Sadrisha Dutim Sundaram Pundarikaksha Mati Karvataram Harim Mekhala Jinadandadi Chinenankitameshwaram Vatuvesha Dharang Vande Sarva Vedanta Gocharam. In Archan, before you start the Archan process, you first do the meditation on the person that you're worshipping. And then, so, his chest, Shri Vamandev's chest, is ornamented by the Shrivatsa, the emblem of the goddess of fortune, and the Kostuba gems. His complexion resembles a full moon. His eyes are charming. His form is tiny. He is adorned with a girdle, deerskin, and staff, and he wears the cloth of a brahmachari. I offer prayers to that Sri Hari who is visible after one realizes the conclusive truth of all Vedic knowledge. And then after that, if you're doing Archan, then there's all the different ingredients that you offer. So you offer an asan, you offer padya, achman, arghya, madhuparka, arghya, and then you offer the bathing and like that, all the different ingredients. And so when you offer those ingredients, then this is the mantra that you use. Om Vāmanaya Namaha. You say the article, and then you say Om Vāmanaya Namaha, and you offer each ingredient. So, and then there's a mantra actually for offering arghya. Interesting. I offer obeisance Vāmanaya Namastubhyam Kranta Tribhuvanaya Cha Grihanargyam Maya Datta Vāmanaya Namostute. I offer obeisance to you, Shri Vamandev, who stepped over the 3 worlds. Please accept this arghya I am offering to you. I again offer you obeisance. Hare Krishna Shubhananda Prabhu. Then offering dan, offering charity. If anybody wants to offer charity, then you do it with this mantra. Vāmano buddhido data drayasta vāmana swayam vāmanascha pratigrahi tena me vāmane rati. Sri Vamanadev is the bestower of intelligence, the munificent benefactor, and the Lord of all things. Yet he is also the recipient of charity. Therefore, may I develop love for Vāmandev. This is a bit of a shameless plug right now, but if anybody wants to give charity, I have a suggestion of one place you can give it. We're making a new Gaudiya Kirtan app right now. It will be much better than the current one for all mobile devices. And we're also making a website for all the kirtans. So if you go to gaudiyakirtan.com, you'll get the whole app online on your browser. And so the thing is, it's difficult to get help for this. There's one boy who's working on it, but he's in school full-time, and he doesn't have so much time, and also he doesn't know how to do everything. And so for certain aspects of the app, we wanted to hire developers, like professional developers. But I don't have any funds for that. So if anybody would like to donate for that, if you go to you can send it by PayPal to gaudiyakirtan@gmail.com. gaudiyakirtan@gmail.com, or just contact me and I'll let you know how. I need to start collecting for that because I want to try to get the app out by Saraswati Thakur's 150th Vyas Puja Day. But if we don't have the funds, then it won't be possible. So, okay, sorry about that. That was kind of shameless, but I need to start getting into that fundraising mode now. So, all right, obeisance, pranam. Labdva vairochanad bhumin padbhyam dvabhyam atityadya abrama bhuvanam krantam vamanam tam namamyaham. So this is obeisance, the pranam mantra. I offer obeisance to Sri Bhagavan Vamandev. He obtained in charity 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj, the son of Virochana. With his first step, he traversed Bhuloka. With his second step, he claimed all the planetary systems up to Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Trailokya Rajamachitya Balerindraya Yodado Namastasmai Sureshaya Sadavamana Rupine. He took from Bali rule over the 3 worlds and bestowed it upon Indra. I forever offer obeisance to the Lord of Lords, who took the form of Sri Vāmana Dev. Jai Sri Vāmana Dev ki jai. So if anybody wants to do Archan of Sri Vāmana Dev, this is where you can find it. Kishore is asking, what's the girdle? The girdle, I don't actually fully even know what a girdle is. I think it's something like a sash that you tie around your waist. Or like Krishna, you'll see pictures of Krishna, there's like a red thing on the top. I think that's what it's referring to. Or maybe it's what's tying the deer skin together. That could also be it. Let's look at a picture of Vāmana Dev. Let's see if we can find a girdle. Vāmana Dev images. Here. See, I think that's the girdle. See that red thing around him? I think that would be the girdle. That's just my guess, though. See, in every picture, he has a thing around his waist. This one, see, I think there's something wrapped around his waist there also. Okay. But if I'm wrong, let me know, anybody, if I'm wrong about that. All right. So, where are we? Okay. So today, now I'm going to read about Jīva Gosvāmī Pad from purebhakti.com. Oh, great. You can speak on Haridas Thakur's disappearance day? That's perfect. Okay, so we will hear the glories of Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj day after tomorrow. Great. All right, so here's something I found from Jīva Gosvāmī. There's actually 3 different articles about Jīva Gosvāmī on purebhakti.com, and we're just going to read from one of them. And maybe we can also read from, I don't know, there's Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj and there's Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. So I don't know, I'm not sure how much time we have. But for almost a week, and so this is spoken in Mathura, September 25th, 2004. And here's a picture of my Srila Gurudev on the veranda of Srila Jīva Gosvāmī's Samadhi, right there. For almost a week, in September 2004, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj was giving nightly classes on Bhakti Rasayan, which is the last part of Srila Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. On September 25th, Srila Jīva Gosvāmī's appearance day, Srila Maharaj continued his class series, but he also took a few minutes to glorify Srila Jīva Gosvāmī. The following is a transcription of his brief talk. I'm just checking everything's going okay. Oh, Haribol, Rukmini Didi, and Sudevi Didi. Hare Krishna. Srila Jīva Gosvāmī was the nephew of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami. He is a direct disciple of Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Rupa Goswami engaged him in the service of proofreading all his writings, his books. Actually, proofreading is not a completely appropriate word, because Srila Rupa Goswami cannot make any mistakes. Rather, Srila Rupa Goswami engaged Srila Jīva Goswami in this way too, to bestow mercy upon him. Srila Jīva Goswami preached all the teachings of Rupa Goswami. he supported and explained them with philosophical evidence. When he wrote Gopal Champu, he also explained all the pastimes of Sri Krishna from the point of view of philosophy. It seems that Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī supported Swakiyavad, which is the conception that Srimati Radhika and Sri Krishna are married, and that Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur supported Parakiyavad, the divine couple's paramour love. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur has reconciled the explanations of both. He called this reconciliation Vichar Vaishishta, explaining that there is a speciality in their viewpoints, but there is actually no difference in their philosophy or conclusions. My Gurudev published that a couple times, in, he published it in Ujjvala Nilamani and also in the beginning of some books, I think. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is not less than Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī. He composed so many Vedic literatures. He wrote commentaries on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Laghu Bhagavatamrita, and Ujjvala Nilamani of Śrīla Rupa Goswami in his own 3 books called Bindu, Kiran, and Kana. He also wrote Madhurya Kadambini, which is a commentary on the verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Adau Shada Tatha Sadhusango Tapajana Kriya Tato Nartana Vritti Sat Tato Nishtas Ruchis Tata Atta Shaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Bhyudhan Chati Sadakanam Ayam Premna Pradur Bhave Bhavit Krama. And this goes through all the steps. Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartana Vritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. I'm not going to read this whole translation because we all understand that. Also, in his book Raghavartma Chandrika, Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains the 3 verses dealing with Raghunuga Bhakti from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He wrote commentaries on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamani, called Ananda Chandrika Tika, and he wrote a commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam called Sarartha Darshini. He wrote very brilliantly. Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī Pad himself wrote many commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam, including the Shat Sandarbhas, and also a commentary on Ujjvala Nilamani and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Today, on his appearance day, we pray to him and remember his lotus feet, especially because he is an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is the eternal associate of Shri Shri Radha Krishna in his form as Shri Vilasa Manjari. Okay, I think so that we can read from these 3 acharyas, my Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, and Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. I'm not going to read the Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj's glorification on Jiva Goswami from Vishuddha Chaitanya Bani, but I'll read his. Wait, where am I looking? I'll read his his glorification of Vāmana Dev. But I'm going to read now from Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj from his book Shri Chaitanya and His Associates, Gaur Parishad Charitavali, about Jiva Goswami. Hari Bol Champak Didi. So let's just find it. Where is Jiva Goswami? There he is. Okay, Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī. Oops, I accidentally opened up folio. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just find the tab. There. Okay, Jiva Goswami. According to the Gaur Ganodesh Tipika, verse 195, Śrīla Jīva Goswami was previously Vilas Manjari in Vraj. 1 second. Okay. In verse 203 of the same book, it is stated that he was the son of Vallabha and a scholar of exemplary character, Shushila Pandita Shriman Jiva Shri Balavat Maja. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan, Jiva Goswami was present in this world He is present in this world from 1511 to 1596, 1433 to 1518 Shaka. But some other sources propose that Jiva lived from 1533 to 1618. Jīva Gosvāmī's early life. Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī appeared in the village of Ramakeli in the district of Malda as the son of Anupam Malik, that's Vallabha, who had made his residence there in order to serve in the government. The name of Jiva Goswami's mother is not known. Narahari Chakravarti in his Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 1, verses 140 to 568, has given Jiva Goswami's genealogy going back 7 generations. This list, as explained by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, has been given here in this volume in the chapter on Srila Rupa Goswami. Śrīla Jīva Goswami's father's original name was Vallabha, but Mahaprabhu gave him the name Anupam. That's explained in Madhya Lila, chapter 19, verse 36. Mahaprabhu met Anupam for the first time when he came to Ramakeli. By his will, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami abandoned all of their worldly duties and then set off in an effort to be reunited with Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan. The same spirit of renunciation took hold in Jiva Goswami's heart at this time also, as has been vividly described by Narahari and Bhakti Ratnakar as follows. Sri Jiva's mind became distracted from the time that his 2 uncles went to Vrindavan. He abandoned his jewels and fine dress, his comfortable bed, his food and various amusements. It was as though nothing interested him anymore. He could not bear hearing news of political and other mundane affairs. Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 1, verses 686 to 688. Narahari Chakravarti summarizes Jiva Goswami's early life story as follows. In a dream, Jiva Goswami had a vision of Mahaprabhu dancing in the midst of Sankirtan. He was overwhelmed by feelings of divine love, and soon thereafter left his home. He had some companions who went with him as far as Fatehabad from Bakla Chandradweep. But from there, he continued alone to Navadweep. There he met Nityananda Prabhu in the home of Srivas Pandit and received his blessings. Nityananda Prabhu told him at that time that he should go to Vrindavan. With fatherly affection, Nityananda Prabhu touched Sri Jiva's head with his feet. He showed incomparable mercy towards Sri Jiva, lifting him from the ground and embracing him tightly. Transported by divine ecstasy, Nityananda Prabhu said, "I rushed here from Karadaha for your sake alone." He said other things like this to pacify Sri Jiva, and then made Srivas Pandit and the other devotees give their blessings to him. After keeping Sri Jiva there for some time with him, Nityananda Prabhu sent him off to the west. He said, "Hurry off now to Vraj. That is the place the Lord has given over to your family." That's from Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 1, verses 765 to 772, I guess. Ganga. All right. So it is, and we know much more of this pastime from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Navadip Mahatma, which is all about Nityananda Prabhu, the parikrama that Nityananda Prabhu took Sri Jiva on. It is not clear whether Jiva Goswami ever met Mahaprabhu directly. However, there is a hint in the Bhakti Ratnakar that Jiva Goswami was a baby when the Lord came to Ramakeli. Jiva Goswami demonstrated an interest in devotion to the Supreme Lord from his early childhood. Even when playing with his friends, he was only interested in games that were connected to worship of Krishna. This is from Bhakti Ratnakar. When Sri Jiva was a little boy, he refused to play any game with other boys that had no relation to Krishna. He made deities of Krishna and Balaram and would worship them with flowers and sandalwood paste, and he would dress and decorate them. He would gaze upon them with unblinking eyes, sitting motionless on the floor like a golden doll. When he paid obeisances to the deities, his eyes filled with tears. He would offer their lordships sweets, and then take the prasad and distribute it to his friends. That's Bhakti Ratnakar 719 to 723. I should add that. I should share that in the Rup Manjari's, what is it? Daoji fan club group. I'll just share that there right now. Daoji fan club. Here. There. If anybody wants to join this group also, the Daoji fan club, then let me know. I'll send you the link. Okay, Jīva Gosvāmī goes to Vraj. By Nityananda Prabhu's grace, Jīva Gosvāmī was able to visit all the sacred sites in Navadvip Dham. After completing his tour of the Dham, he traveled to Benares, where he studied to Varanasi, where he studied all the scriptures with Madhusudan Vachaspati. Nityananda Prabhu actually ordered him to study under Madhusudan Vachaspati. Then he went on to Vrindavan, where he remained under the tutelage of Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada has given the following summary of Jīva Goswami's life and his Anubhashya to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Saraswati Thakur says, after the disappearance of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, Jīva Goswami was established as the topmost teacher of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas of Odisha, Bengal, and Mathura provinces. He engaged everyone in the worship of Krishna through teaching the truths given by Mahaprabhu himself. He would occasionally perform Vrajadhama Parikrama with the other devotees, and sometimes he would go to visit Vittalanath in Mathura. One time Srivas, he was telling me I have such a bad memory, but he found all these things about Jīva Goswami's relationship with Vittalanath. And yeah, they were very close, and Vittalanath was very much influenced by Jīva Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita during Jīva Goswami's lifetime. Not long thereafter, when Srinivas, Narottam, and Dukhi Krishnadas came from Bengal, he gave them the titles Acharya, Thakur, and Shamananda respectively. So Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Thakur, and Shamananda. He then sent them back to Bengal with all the scriptures that had been written by the Goswamis, with instructions to preach the religion of the holy names and love of Krishna. He received the news of the loss of the scriptures, and later of their retrieval. He later gave the title Kaviraj to both Ramachandra Sen and his brother Govinda. Just recently. Janava Devi and other devotees came to Vrindavan during his lifetime. Whenever Bengali devotees came to Vraj, he arranged for prasad and lodgings during their stay. That's from Anubhashya 11085. The loss of the scriptures referred to in the above paragraph took place when the agents of King Virahambir of Banvishnupur stole them. Later, when the king heard Srinivasacharya speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, he was converted to Vaishnavism and took initiation from him. Srinivasacharya thus recovered the books. All this is described in full in this volume in the chapter of Srinivasacharya. Jīva Goswami's writings and controversies. In the Bhakti Ratnakar, a list of 25 works ascribed to Jīva Goswami has been given. 1. Harinamamrita Vyakaranam. I'm just now starting that up again. I tried doing it before and I failed, and now I'm starting it up today. If anybody wants to learn Sanskrit, by the way, if anybody wants to learn Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, Param Sundar Prabhu, he just started a new class. I'm going to join it also, starting tomorrow. Actually, no, he already gave the first two classes, but you can find the videos of the first two classes, and they're just introductions, really. So yeah, if anybody would like to learn Sanskrit, let me know, and I can put you in touch with Param Sundar. It's a 5-month course, 2 days a week. It's only 3,100 rupees for 5 months, which is a really amazing deal. Okay, so Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, 2. Sutra Malika. 3. Dhatu Sangraha. 4. Krishnarchan Dipika. 5. Gopal Virudavali. 6. Rasamrita Shesh. 7. Madhav Mahotsav. 8. Sankalpa Kalpa Vriksha. 9. Bhavarta Suchak Champu. 10. A commentary on Gopal Tapani Upanishad. 11. A commentary on Brahma Samhita. 12. A commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. 13. A commentary on Ujjvala Nilamani. 14. A commentary on the Yoga Sar Stavaka. 15. Gayatri Bhashya of Agni Puran. 16. Krishna Padachina of Padma Puran. 17. Shri Radhika Kara Padastita Chinna. Interesting. We're just reading about that yesterday, of Radhika's Padachina. Then 18. Gopal Champu, Purva and Uttar divisions. 19. Krama Sandarbha. 20. Tattva Sandarbha. 21. Bhagavat Sandarbha. 22. Paramatma Sandarbha. 23. Krishna Sandarbha. 24. Bhakti Sandarbha. And 25. Priti Sandarbha. And how many verses did Jiva Goswami write? It's crazy. It's like the largest number by far, way more than Srimad Bhagavatam or anything else. Yeah. Anyways, he wrote complete, what do you say, a mountain or ocean of like nobody compares to with the quantity of writing that Jiva Goswami did. The exact number is given. I think it was like something like 400,000 verses or something like that. I don't know exactly though. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada has given the following warning in his Anubhashya to those inexperienced persons who might be deprived of Krishna Prem through the influence of ignorant and offensive Sahajya teachings. Srila Saraswati Thakur says, 3 slanderous ideas about Jiva Goswami are current amongst the ignorant Prakrit Sahajyas. Anyone influenced by these calumnies? Calumnies? What does that mean? Calumny means the making of false and defamatory statements about someone in order to damage their reputation, in order to slander them. Okay, so anyone influenced by these calumnies, which are fundamentally inimical to Krishna, the Guru, and the Vaishnavas, anyone who hears them will become increasingly offensive and will end up losing his taste for service to the Supreme Lord. So the first thing people say, it is said that a certain Digvijay scholar, eager to amass mundane prestige, came to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to get their signature as an admission of defeat in debate. Jiva Goswami's gurus conceded defeat without any argument, and the arrogant scholar proclaims them to be nothing more than ignorant fools. He then asked Jiva Goswami also to sign such an admission of defeat. Jiva Goswami, however, decided to take on the puffed-up Brahman in debate in order to silence his scurrilous tongue. In this way, he preserves the integrity of his spiritual master's reputation and demonstrated the ideal behavior of one who is a Guru Devatatma, one who recognizes his spiritual master to be his worshipable deity and source of life. So that all is true. Some ignorant Sahajyas, however, say that Sri Jiva's behavior went contrary to Mahaprabhu's teaching of being humbler than a blade of grass and of giving respect to others. Indeed, they say that Rupa Goswami chastised Jiva Goswami for this very reason and ostracized him for some time. And only when Sanatana Goswami interceded on Jiva Goswami's behalf did he accept him again into his association. Only when these enemies of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas receive Krishna's mercy and begin to see themselves as their eternal servants, will they also receive Jiva Goswami Prabhu's blessings and be able to understand what it really means to be humbler than a blade of grass and a giver of respect to all. Only then will they be eligible to chant the holy names in the proper way. Yeah, that's something that Srila Bhakti Brigyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and of course Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada would write a lot about, is the Sahajya's false humility, like their misconceptions regarding what is humility. And so this pastime did happen, that it was mentioned, but they got it completely wrong, that Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī was wrong in any way to defeat that Digvijay Pandit and reestablish the dignity of Rupa and Sanatan. Okay, 2. Some other foolish sahajiyas say that when Jīva Gosvāmī first read the Chaitanya Charitamrita with its clear and brilliant explanation of the divine devotional sentiments of Raj, he was afraid that it would hamper his own scholarly reputation. He therefore threw the manuscripts down a well in the spirit of mean-mindedness. Upon hearing of this, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was greatly shocked and immediately gave up his body. Fortunately, Kaviraj Goswami's disciple Mukunda had made a copy of the original manuscript, and thus it was preserved and later published far and wide. Had Mukunda not done so, the Chaitanya Charitamrita would have been lost forever. This is another contemptible bit of invention based on an inimical attitude to the Guru and Vaishnava. It has no basis in reality, and there is no possibility of its being true. Actually, do you know Radhika, the Pandit from Uzbekistan or Russia? Yeah, she just finished, after 10 years of working, she just now finished writing her thesis on Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī's Harinamamrita Vyakaranam for Harvard University. She's very young also. She's like, I don't know, in her 20s, I think. And but anyhow, she's she told me just a few months back, she told me about some book that she came across. I think it's not an authentic book, but some ancient book, like, you know, I don't know if it's maybe after Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's time, or maybe a couple hundred years, I don't know, some book though, and it tells a similar story to what Srila Saraswati Thakur was talking about here. Something about Jīva Goswami throwing Chaitanya Charitamrita into the Yamuna, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita, like, first it sunk under the water, and then it floated back to the surface and floated back to the shore again. Something like that. But yeah, it's totally bogus. But that's what a lot of the sahajiyas, the Prakrit sahajiyas, say, that Jīva Goswami did that. And then that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was so heartbroken that his Chaitanya Charitamrita was lost forever that he gave up his life. So that's... And then now the third thing that the Prakrit Sahajya say is, according to sense-obsessed fornicators, Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī should not be accepted as an authority because in his treatises he did not accept Rupa Goswami's Parakiyavad idea, but rather he supported the Swakiyavad. They say that he cannot be accepted as a Rasik Bhakta, or a devotee who is knowledgeable in the divine sentiments. The fact is that during Jīva Goswami's lifetime, some of his followers demonstrated a preference for the Swakiyavad. Jīva Goswami recognized their limitations, and so for their benefit and for the benefit of those in the future who would be unable to comprehend the transcendental nature of the Parakiya Ras and would themselves take up adulterous relationships in imitation of Krishna, he gave credence to the Swakiya doctrine. This is a sign of his acting appropriately as an acharya. One should not take this as evidence of his being opposed to the transcendental Parakiya Ras. However, so this is a sign of his acting appropriately as an acharya. One should not take this as evidence of his being opposed to the transcendental Parakiya Ras, however, for he is the topmost of Rupa Goswami's followers and one of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's spiritual teachers. That's Srila Saraswati Thakur wrote that in his Anubhashya in Chaitanya Charitamrita for Adi Lila, chapter 10, verse 85. Actually, Śrīla Jīva Gosvami writes at the end of this whole thing about Swakiyavad that he wrote this to that this isn't his own opinion, but he wrote this to please some people. Where was it? I think I could find that. It's in Ujjvala Nilamani. Do I have the first part of Ujjvala Nilamani? Anyways, let's just continue on because I don't want it to get too late. If there's time afterwards, we can find that though. And right after explaining all the Sakyavad, we see what Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī says at the end, that this isn't actually his own opinion. Okay, Rupa Goswami's mercy to Sri Jiva Prabhu. Narahari Chakravarti has shown how Rupa Goswami instructed Jiva Goswami, punished him, and then blessed him in a story told in the 5th wave of Bhakti Ratnakar. But yeah, we have to be so careful where we get what we hear. Just because something was written a long time ago doesn't mean it's authentic. Even some parts of Bhakti Ratnakar we don't fully accept. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes about that in an introduction that he writes to that book. Okay. One hot summer's day, while Rupa Goswami was writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in seclusion, and Jiva Goswami was fanning his perspiring body, Vallabh Bhatta came to see Rupa Goswami. After reading some of Rupa Goswami's introductory verse, and Vittalacharya, who Jiva Goswami is very close with, was Vallabh Bhatta's son, right? So after reading some of Srila Rupa Goswami's introductory verses, he offered to make a few corrections. When Vallabh Bhatta went to the Yamuna to take a bath, Jiva Goswami followed him on the pretext of going to fetch water. In fact, he was angry because he considered Vallabh Bhatta's proposal to be arrogant. He asked him what faults he had found in Rupa Goswami's verse. Vallabh Bhatta told him, and Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī immediately showed him the flaws in his argument. A debate ensued in which Jiva Goswami countered every one of Vallabh Bhatta's objections. When he came back to Rupa Goswami's hut, Vallabh Bhatta told him how impressed he was with Jiva Goswami's scholarship, recounting the entire episode. Rupa Goswami gently rebuked Jiva Goswami, telling him to return to Bengal and to come back to Vrindavan only when he had calmed down. Thus banished from his presence, Jiva Goswami left Rupa Goswami's dwelling and went to Nandaghat, a nearby village. Hoping to regain his guru's favor, he began to practice rigorous austerities, worshipping Krishna intensely while fasting or eating only a bare minimum. As a result of such severe practices, his body became weak and sickly. One day, Sanatana Goswami happened to come to Nandaghat and discovered him in this condition. Yes, Shubhananda Prabhu is asking, is Vallabhacharya the same as Vallabh Bhatta from Pushtimarg? Yes, yes, he is the same person. So as a result of such severe practices, Jiva Goswami's body became weak and sickly. One day, Sanatana Goswami happened to come to Nandaghat and discovered him in this condition. He was moved, and he took Jiva Goswami back with him to Rupa Goswami and appealed to his brother to forgive him. Didn't Sanatana Goswami say what is? I forgot exactly what it is. Kishore, if I'm getting it wrong, you can let me know. But something like, what is the duty of Vaishnav? And Rupa Goswami said, like, jiva doya, to be compassionate towards the jiva, something like that. And then Sanatana Goswami said, and you won't be compassionate to this jiva? So it had like a double meaning, something like that. And then Srila Rupa Goswami forgave him. Did you hear anything like that, Kishore?
Yeah, exactly that.
Exactly.
Okay. I did.
Yes, okay, cool. So hoping to regain his guru, sorry. I lost my spot. Okay, so Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami were thus reconciled, and Jiva Goswami once again began to receive Rupa Goswami's affectionate blessings. Jiva Goswami's appearance day is on Bhadra Shukla Dvādaśī, which is today. His disappearance day is in Posha Shukla Tritiya. His deity, Radha Damodar, is still being worshipped in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. His samadhi tomb is on the grounds of the Radha Damodar temple, and his bhajan kutir is preserved at Radhakund near Lalitakund, right right across from Lalita Kunda's Jiva Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. Jai Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī Pad Ki Jai. All right, so now we will move on to the Glories of Vāmana Deva by Śrīla Bhakti-Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. If there's time at the end also, then maybe we can read Śrīla Bharati Goswami Maharaj's glorification of Jiva Goswami as well. If there's anything that is, let's see how we do on time. Okay. And 1 second, I just want to check the comments. Oh, Hare Krishna, Vidya Lalasa Didi, Mitra Vrinda Didi, and Shah Sharma Ji. Vidya Lalasa would like to join the Daoji fan club. Okay, cool. Okay, then I'll send it to you afterwards. There's also a Facebook group for it. Okay, where are we? We're going back here. There. Okay. Vāmana Deva Avirbhav. I was having a difficult time getting this into reader view. So unfortunately, you're just going to have to see it really small text. And a strange thing happens on the Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani website. When I paste it into a Word doc, there's like no word wrap. It's just like it will cut every single word in half at the edge of the page. Anyways, so. Actually, let me just try again. There might be something I can do to fix it. I'm just going to try, because I like it to be big for everybody to see. Here, new document. Let's see. Hey, it worked. Okay, never mind. I've had that problem before, but this time it worked. So let's make it Balaram U. Okay. Okay, so the following is an excerpt of a the following is an excerpt of a discourse that Śrīla Bhakti-Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj gave on September 13th, 2016. Today is a special day. It is the appearance day of Vāmana Deva. For those observing the Chaturmasya Vrat, today is also a special tithi known as Parsha Parivartan. Bhagavan, who has been resting facing north, will today turn to the other side facing south. There are 8 Mahadvadashis: Jai, Vijaya, Jayanti, Papamochani, Pakshavardhini, Vyanjuli, Bhaimi, and Pashankusha. There is no rule that all 8 will appear in every year. However, if they do all appear in a year, then it is only after another 8 years, and that they will reappear together within 1 year. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So there's 1 year where it's all just Mahadvadashis, every 8 years. Today is another special tithi. It is the Avirbhav tithi of Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī, who is the youngest amongst the Shad Goswamis. There are so many tithis on this day. Bhagavan said in the Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Deliverance of a special kind. Śrīla Jayadeva Goswami sang, Keshavadrita mina sharira, Keshavadrita kurma sharira, Jai Jagadisha Hare. That Bhagavan appears in the form of a fish, tortoise, boar, and so on. But particular incarnations of Bhagavan, like Varaha, Kurma, and Matsya, are not as important as Vāmana Deva and Nrsimhadev. Why are their incarnations more significant? Because paritran, deliverance, is of many types. And the type of paritran that benefits others, the type of paritran that benefits others the most has been categorized separately. In all incarnations, there is paritran, delivering the pious. But in incarnations like Vāmana and Nrsimhadev, there's also special deliverance. Whereas in Parshuram's incarnation, there's nothing special in his deliverance. Bhagavan's deception is also his compassion. In the case of Vāmana, when Bali Maharaj conquered all the three worlds and took over the throne of Indra, reducing him to a pauper, Indra's mother, Aditi, prayed to Kashyapa to reinstate her son back as the king of heaven. Kashyapa had two wives, Aditi and Diti. All the sons of Aditi were demigods, while all the sons of Diti were demons. On the instructions of Kashyapa, Aditi performed severe penance, and Bhagavan mercifully appeared as her son Vāmana, who is the younger brother of Indra. So he is also known as Upendra. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj, he would write under the pseudonym Upendra, Upendra Sevak or something like that. Upendra Sevak. Srivas found lots of articles in the Gaudiya Pachika, or a few articles written by Upendra Sevak. Because Indra and Bali belonged to the same family and were related to Bhagavan in this incarnation, he decided to trick or cheat Bali to give the throne back to Indra. That is why the word chalayasi, which means deception, has been used. Chalayasi vikramane balimar bhutavaman. O Lord Hari, who assumes the form of a dwarf brahmana, all glories to you. O wonderful dwarf, by your massive steps, you deceive King Bali. Bhagavan's deceit is also his pastime. It is not a fault in him. All his activities are full of compassion. Just like sugar candy, no matter which side you taste it from, it will taste the same. There won't be any difference. However, not everyone will understand this. Only 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj had already conquered Swarga and Patala. In order to conquer all the remaining places in the 14 planetary systems, Bali Maharaj was performing a fire sacrifice, a yajna, to please Yagyapati Bhagavan. Shukracharya, the spiritual master of the demons, was the chief among the yajna performers. Vāmana appeared at the place of the fire sacrifice in the form of a dwarf brahmana, a Brahman Bhattu, carrying a rod, water pot, umbrella, and wearing wooden sandals. Bali Maharaj welcomed him and said, "You are a Brahman Bhattu, and you have come here to ask me for something. What do you desire?" Vāmana replied, "I ask you for 3 steps of land. I desire to walk the path of eternal welfare, Nivritti Marg, and not the path of sense enjoyment, Pravritti Marg." To this, Bali Maharaj smilingly said, "Your intelligence is just like your stature. It is dwarfed. Would you beg alms from others as well as accepting alms from me? I can provide you with everything. What do you desire? Would you like to marry a Brahmin girl? Or do you desire 10 villages to maintain a family?" Vāmana replied, "No, I took a vow to perform austerities, so anything more than 3 steps of land will turn my mind towards sense enjoyment." Bali Maharaj pleaded, "Please reconsider." Vāmana persisted, "I spoke only after giving it proper thought." Offering the self. But then Shukracharya told Bali Maharaj, "He is not Bhattu, he is not a dwarf, he is Bhagavan. On the pretext of begging 3 steps of land, he will take away everything. Then where will he reside?" Hearing this, Bali Maharaj contemplated. If he is Bhagavan himself, even without offering him anything, he will still snatch away everything from me. So it is better for me to offer charity and assume the position of a donor. Just as Bali Maharaj conveyed this decision, Vāmana, assuming a very large form, covered the entire Swargaloka, the higher planets, with his first step, and with his second step, he covered all the outer worlds. He then asked Bali Maharaj, "Where shall I keep my 3rd step? You are bound by your promise, so you have to keep your word." In fear of his defeat, Bali Maharaj looked towards his wife, Vindhyavali, who alluded to what he should do by touching her own head. Vindhyavali, she said, "You gave all your material possessions, but you have not given your very self." Then Bali Maharaj surrendered his head before Vāmana, saying, "You may keep your foot, this step upon my head." Vāmana then manifested a third foot from his lotus navel and rested it upon the head of Bali Maharaj. Wow, so really, like the real hero of, well, I'm not sure if hero is the right word, but like the person who's really glorious in this story is Bali Maharaj's wife, Vindhyavali, because she was the one who gave him the good advice to offer his head and surrender himself. Nice. Role reversal. Vāmana added, "Until now, you were the donor and I was the receiver. Now I am the giver and you are the receiver." Bali Maharaj's foolish army was prepared for battle. Bali Maharaj ordered, "Tasmat kalam pratikshadvam." Please wait, because the time is not in our favor now. But overpowered by a sense of duty, his army proceeded to fight anyways. They disobeyed his order. Sometimes even the prime minister has to submit to the instructions of his bodyguards or security personnel. Why did Rajiv Gandhi die? Although he was not a prime minister, he was still under his security personnel. He had gone to South India, Tamil Nadu, for campaigning. Yet he refused to pay heed to the instructions of his security, and he went to meet the people in the rallies and was assassinated as a result. Had he adhered to his security personnel's advice, his life would have been spared. This is an ancient ordinance for any head of state to follow counsel of his security personnel. When Bali Maharaj's army saw him bound by the ropes of Varuna, Babandha Varunai Pashar, arrested with the ropes of Varuna, Srimad Bhagavatam 8:21-26, what could they do? Vāmana said, "Now I am the donor and you are the receiver. I shall give you whatever you ask for." Did Bali Maharaj ask for the lost kingdom? Did his wife advise him to ask for something? No. But his sister, Ratnavali, upon first seeing Vāmana, she said that if this beautiful young lad were my son, I would have taken him on my lap and breastfed him. However, later, after Vāmana snatched everything from her brother, she said, "If he were my son, I would have poisoned and killed him." That is why, later, she became Putana. Such are the pastimes of Bhagavan. They are infinite. Different perspectives. One second, just want to check the comments. Okay. Different perspectives. Thus, when Bali Maharaj was tired, he prayed, "Vāmana, may your soothing lotus feet, which you have placed upon my head, always remain there. Do not take them back." This pastime of Bhagavan is viewed in two different ways. One by the Karmakandis, one is by the Karmakandis and Gyankandis, and another by the devotees. Devotees perceive that Bali Maharaj surrendered himself completely to Bhagavan and pleased him, while Karmis perceive that Bali Maharaj offered charity beyond his capacity and therefore became bound. The Karmis even composed the shloka on this thought. They say, "Atti darpe hatta lanka, atti mane chakorava, atti dane bali badha, atti sarvatra garhitam." They say, excessive pride destroyed the golden kingdom of Ravan. Excess feeling that I am great destroyed the Kauravas, the sons of Dhritarashtra. Excess charity got Bali bound up, and so too much of everything is bad. Because of his pride, Ravan lost Lanka. Duryodhan, who craved honor and respect, thought himself to be a great personality. Because of that, he eventually met with ill fate. But this is not true in relation to Bali Maharaj. This is what the Karmakandis say. Do not just follow, know the import. So Bali Maharaj first said to Vāmana, "Keep your third foot upon my head." And he next begged for the second boon, "And please do not withdraw it." When did Bhagavan go back to the Dham? Lakshmi Devi became as a Brahman. She came as a Brahmani, referring to Bali as her brother, and she requested Bali that Vāmana be returned. And afterwards, she tied Raksha Sutra on the hands of Bali. So, when you'll celebrate Raksha Bandhan, Bali's name is in the Raksha Bandhan mantra. Yena Bandho Bali Raja Devendra Mahabala. Ah, interesting. We simply follow as a custom what comes down in parampara. But if we study the practices, then all these things will become clear and meaningful. So we should study our practices, not just do them, but we should know the import. So Bhagavan's 3 feet is 3 manifestations. So Bhagavan's 3 feet, 3 manifestations. One stays with Bali Maharaj in the Patal Lok, and one in Kshira Sagar, and the last in Vaikuntha. Those are Sri Bhagavan's 3 manifestations. Patal Lok, Kshira Sagar, and Vaikuntha. Nowadays, no one follows all these things. Even a mother does not know the birth tithi of her son. She just refers to the date on the English calendar, the solar calendar, whereas we refer to the tithi, the lunar calendar. We determine the tithi based on the panchanga. Panchanga is prepared taking 5 attributes into consideration: tithi, nakshatra, karana, yoga, and vara. Oh, vara means the week, right? Yeah. Different calculations. Actually, I don't know if that means, I've listened, I don't know what I'm talking about. Different calculations. So today is Vāmana Dvādaśī, the day of Vāman Dev's appearance. But sometimes there's a difference of opinion about Dvādaśī Tithis. There are 8 Mahadvādashis: Jai, Vijay, Jayanti, Papamochani, Trisprisha, Vyanjali, Parshva, and Bhaimi. All these are Mahadvādashis. All these are Mahadvādashis. The Vaishnavas calculate the Tithis in a different way. The Vaishnavas calculate the Tithis in a different way than the Smartas. Therefore, Akadashi may fall on different days. Actually, just yesterday, I saw there's, I think it's the Samaj Bharti, they followed Akadashi yesterday. They're not following today. Somebody from there just came to our place here. According to Vaishnav Smritis and Smarta thoughts, Tithis sometimes fall on different days. Some observe Dasham Vidya Akadashi, where there is a combination of Dashami and Akadashi Tithis together. In other words, Vaishnavas do not consider it a pure Akadashi if the Akadashi Tithi was not on at Arunodoy. Arunodoy is before the sun rises, when the sky starts to glow. I forgot the exact timing before sunrise, but it's but if Akadashi appears then, if the Akadashi doesn't appear then, or during that time, then it's considered mixed and impure, and so then we follow Mahadvadashi, something like that. When Duryodhana's mother Gandhari asked Yudhishthira Maharaj why her children died before her, he replied that if one observes Dasham Vidha Akadashi, one will have to suffer the pain of separation from their son, Putra Shoka. Alright? So, be careful, don't perform a Dasham Vidha Akadashi. Akadashi that's been touched by Dashami Tithi, if you don't want to be separated from your son. That's really heavy. Alright, so Shri Vāmana Dev ki jai, Shri Bali Maharaj ki jai, Vindhyavali Devi ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Okay, so, okay, I was right then. Var does mean week, like Somvar, Mangalvar, yeah. Cool. What time is it? Let's see. Oh, it's 8:30. Perfect time to stop. All right. So I'll just do a short Mahamantra. And yeah, then we will finish our program for today. And then tomorrow is a special day. It's Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day. And I hope you guys don't mind me doing this, but I'm just, because this is like, I really need to get on this. I'm just mentioning again. So we're making the Gaudiya Kirtan app second version. Right now, the Gaudiya Kirtan app doesn't work on Android phones. It doesn't, it's not compatible anymore because it all needs to be updated. And anyways, we've been wanting to make a new, better functioning app for a long time, like that loads a lot faster. And all the kirtans that I prepared many, many, many kirtans. And they're not on the app yet because I haven't been able to update it since we put it out in on my Gurudev's centennial day. So for like 2 years, I think it's been. I haven't been able to update the app and add in all the things I prepared. And so now we're rebuilding the app. There's a boy in Pennsylvania, a really nice boy named Aditya. But the thing is, he's just learning this all. He's not, he's in the middle of his university studies, and so he's very busy. And so in order to get it out, I wanted to release the second version of the app on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada's 150th Vyas Puja Day. And so, so that's in 5 months from now. And so it's a big job to build a whole entire app. And so I wanted to get different parts of the app. I wanted to get developers. Like I spoke with Aditya, and because he can't do it all on his own. But if we get different developers to do different aspects of the app, then we can have it done. But that costs a lot of money. And so if anybody would like to help with help us make this Gaudiya Kirtan app, and also we're making it for web, so that you can access everything online. And I'm going to add different translations, the melodies for how to sing the different songs, and have a section. What I want to have before Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day is have all the Gaudiya mats. There's probably like 15 Gaudiya mats or more. I want to have them all, their whole temple program, all on the app, so that when you open up the app for the first time, it will ask you which mat are you affiliated with. And then once you choose that, and also you choose your language, it's in many different languages with translations in many different languages also. I got translations in German, Portuguese, Spanish, Russian, many different languages. Anyway, so once you select your preferences, then it will be tailored for you. So that every time you turn on the app, you'll be able to, you'll see your own. So if you're in Gopinath Gaudiya Mat, then you'll see the pranam mantra for Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. And like when you go to the Jaidwani, it will have that. And then it will have your Mangalarti, your full temple program like that. As well as, we have over 1,000 songs. And I got the whole Brajaras Dhara with all the Hindi songs in that. And I actually got all the different songbooks of all different Gaudiya Mats, and I'd find what songs were missing in other books. And so then everything's included on that. So it has all the songbooks of every Gaudiya Mat. So a lot of songs. So yeah, if you'd like to help us with that. Today, Vāmana Dvādaśī is a very auspicious day to give in charity. And also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's day, also tomorrow, is a very auspicious day because we're going to be, the main kirtans on the app, like the most prominent kirtans, most of the kirtans are Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's kirtans. I think we have nearly 300 songs by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the app. And so I just show you, if you use PayPal, then you just send a donation to Gaudiya Kirtan at gmail.com. And this will go into GVP's account. Oops. Gaudiya Kirtan at gmail.com. So see that email. Otherwise, you could also go to gaudiyakirtan.com, and there's a place there where you can see that's the email. That's the PayPal email. Also, if you go to gaudiyakirtan.com, you can find the, let me just show you really quick. Oops. How come it's not opening? Okay. New tab, gaudiyakirtan.com. There's a place to donate here as well. And so, yeah, that would be very much appreciated. There's the Gaudiya Kirtan website. And you go down and see there. You can enter an amount, and then you can, however much, and then blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then you can give by credit card, all these different methods also. And GBP account is for those in America, it's tax deductible. So, yeah, anyways, okay, sorry for that really long plug. Let's do a kirtan at the end.
Shibanan Pro was asking something.
Oh, yes. Yes, can you, okay, any UPI ID? Yes, actually. I don't have one for the GBP account, but I do have for my personal bank account, so I'd have to just make a note of it. And my personal UPI ID is, I think it's Madhukar Das at Axis Bank. I will message you afterwards. Yeah, because I think it's, yeah, I don't want to give the wrong UPI ID. So, but yeah, I think it's Madhukar.das at Axis Bank. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bo. Oh, Jaya Jīva Gosvāmī, Jaya Jīva Gosvāmī, Jīva Gosvāmī, Prabhu Jīva Gosvāmī, Jaya Vāmana Dev, Jaya Vāmana Dev, Vāmana Dev, Jaya Vāmana Dev, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Kishore, would you like to do the Jaidvani?
Jai Subrikash Shishi Guru Gauranga Gan Harika Giri Hari Hari Radhavinod Vihari Radhanainath Shishi Mahaprabhu Radha Gokulananda Ju Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Sri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Paramaham Sabri Brajakshari Stotrashta Shri Shriman Bhakti Vigyan Bhariti Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Paramaham Sabri Brajakshari Varya Astotrashta Shishman Bhakti Branda Shila Narayan Goswami Maharaj Parit Pavan Gurudev Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Balap Tirtha Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Branda Shila Vāmana Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Vaibhava Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Rakshak Shridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Daita Marv Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Param Gurudev Acharya Keshari Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupar Stotrashta Shishman Jagarguru Shri Varshabhana Vidaita Das Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Swabrika Shila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Mahaparam Bhagavad Prabhar Paramahamsa Shishmar Gaur Kishore Das Babshi Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shila Sachirananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahashaya Ki Jai. जय वैष्णव सर्वोम श्री श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। श्रील मधुसूदन दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। श्री उदयदास उदयन दास की जय। गुरुविदान आचार्य श्रील बलदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। महो महोदध्याय रसिकृष्ण मुनि श्रील विष्णु चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर पार की जय। श्रील रसिकानंद मुरारी प्रभु की जय। श्रील रामचंद्र कविराज की जय। श्रीलोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर महाशय श्रीनिवासाचार्य श्यामानंद पंडित प्रभुत्राय की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी पाद की जय। यशवदार प्रकाव्य श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री अष्टकविराज वसुरजानव नित्यानंद दुष्कपाल श्री चौषधि महंत की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद जीव गोस्वामी की जय। तत्व सिद्धांत आचार्य देव शिल जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टराज सुरगुनाथ सर गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर यरमानंद लोकनाथ गर्भ अधिगौर परिषाद वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर महाशय की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील ईश्वर पुरीपाद की जय। श्रील माधवेंद्र पुरीपाद की जय। श्री अंडरद्वीप मायापुर श्रीमंदेव गौतमदेव मध्यादेव कलदेव ऋतुदेव जानुदेव माधुर द्रुमादेव ऋतुरादेव मात्मक सेनावदेव धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम स्वयं भगवान जगन्नाथ मिश्र नंदन गौर सुंदर श्री विश्वम्बर मिश्र निमाय पंडित की जय। श्री गौरचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ कवि गोपा गौ गिरि गोविदान वर्षाद वनान माक श्री ब्रजमंडल धाम की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा सखी अमन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी ठाकुरान की जय। श्री ललिता विशाखा चित्रा चंपकलत तुंग इंदुलेख रंग देवी सुदेवी अधिशक्ति वृंद की जय। श्री आनंग प्रेम मंजलाल श्री रूप लवंग राग विलास गुणरति कस्तूरी अरिमंजारी वृंद की जय। श्री कमल मंजरी देवी की जय। श्री नयन मणि मंजरी देवी की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भगवती पूर्णमासी उमाय देवी की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर सरशिव महादेव की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमाधव की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय। सर्वा विघ्नविनाशन करे भक्त विघ्नविनाश सुरेंद्र सिंह देव की जय। भक्तराज भक्त प्रवर शिवलाल महाराज की जय। शिवलाल लक्ष्मेंद्र सिंह देव की जय। श्री चरिधाम चरि संप्रदाय चर्याचार्य की जय। श्री मध्वार मनोज विष्णु स्वामी निम्बदित्य चर्याचार्य की जय। आकर्मतरा श्री चैतन्य माद की जय। श्री गौरी मात वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमाद भगवताम भगवदगीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भगवत जैव धर्म आदि सर्व गौरी वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल धन्य कलयुग तर्क ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे महामंत्र की जय। श्री आनंद करि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समगत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री वमन भगवान की जय। श्री वमन भगवान की जय। श्री वमन भगवान की जय। श्री भली महाराज की जय। श्री वमन द्वादशी तिथि की जय। तत्व सिद्धांत आचार्य देव शिल जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। शिल जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। शिल जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीनिताय 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 गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवश्च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Dandavat pranams, everybody. All right, and so Shubhananda was asking the UPI ID. Let me just, I just found it, so I'll show you here. So to donate for the new Gaudiya Kirtan mobile app and web app. So there are many different payment methods available on gaudiyakirtan.com. Otherwise, you can send by PayPal, gaudiyakirtan@gmail.com. Otherwise, the UPI ID is madhukardas@Axis Bank. And also you can send to my mobile number, 789-593-9316. That's my WhatsApp number, and also the number connected to my bank. So you could do that from Google Pay or whatever other thing. I'll have to take note of it though, so that I keep it separate. If you could actually, if you do send money, if you just make a note that this is from the Gaudiya Kirtan app, that would be helpful. All right, so sorry about that. I really want this to happen. And one thing I forgot to mention about the app also is that all the kirtans. I have many new recordings that I want to add onto the app, but I'm not able to because I'm not able to update the app. And also the app, the kirtan part doesn't function so well. Like after kirtan's finished, lots of times the app freezes, and you can't make your own collections of kirtans. I want to make it so that you can select all the different kirtans that you like and put them in different folders, your own playlists, I mean, and then the kirtans can play one after another. And once we have the app all up and everything's running nicely, then I want to put my focus into getting lots of new recordings. Like the Sudarshan Prabhu, he said that he would record all the songs in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha for me. I already got 120 recordings from him. I recorded him, but we have a lot more. He wants to do all of Prem Bhakti Chandrika and all of Prarthana also. And so, but that will all be possible only after we're able to make the app. And yeah, it's now, I mean, all the developer devotees that we have there, they're so busy with their lives, and and so that's why now I think the only option, unless Krishna sends somebody, the only option is to find other developers, hire people. But Aditya, he's going to be doing the main bulk of the work. But anyways, okay. Dandavat pranams. Sorry for going on about that so long. I'm starting to get concerned because Saraswati Thakur's 150th day is coming up. So, Hari Bol, everybody. Dandavat pranams. So, see you all tomorrow for Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And also on Vine of Devotion, I'm planning today to write a little something about all the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I'm going to go through Kalyana Kalpataru, all those 4 songbooks that he wrote. And I'm just going to give a synopsis just so that you kind of get an idea of what's in each book. And then, yeah, you'll have it. I mean, it's just going to be very basic, but it'll just help you be able to navigate through his songs better. All right. Haribo. Wait, 1 second, I'm just checking the comments on. All right. Oh, and Vidya Lalasa wants to know the details of the Sanskrit class and the timings. Yeah, the timings is it's on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. India time. That'd be great if you join. I'll send you the information. Hari Bol Rukmini Didi. How do you say sesquicentennial? Sesquicentennial. Okay, the sesquicentennial. I'm not sure if I said that right. All right, cool. All right. Hari Bol, everybody. Dandavat pranams. 1 second. Okay. Hare Krishnandri Hari Prabhu. I'm not going to say everybody's names because there's way too many people here at this time, but Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hari Bol.